Hello, welcome to the Inforunners. I'm Execute. Today I'm joined by Crazy Algrid. He's someone's shirt. It looks like he's car
Hey,
salesman.
I'm ready to sell you a ship.
Yeah, have we got a deal for you? No,
That's right. I got a deal for you.
and we're joined today by Dquags. Is it Dquags? Dquags? I'm terrible at pronouncing your name. I'm butchering it.
It's Dquags, but yeah, close enough.
Dquags, like a duck.
It,
The quack.
it is the
Dquags.
Frenchman of the ship selling world. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe not, but
Alrighty then.
I'll blame sleep deprivation.
Oh yeah, I can join you in that one, mate. I can join in that one. It is, just to put this in perspective, I got up in the AM. It's now in the PM. Let's just put it that way. And yeah. Anyway, all right. And I've hit the wrong button, but that's fine. I'll fix it. There we go. So this is your original fleet that you came to us with, mate. And you've got some interesting choices considering your professions you've told us. So you told me an Algrid.
Well, why don't you tell us why you got these ships originally, and then we'll get you to tell us what professions you told us you were interested in, and then we'll scratch our heads and go, huh?
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, I got the Raylin because I liked how it was. I liked how it looked. I was interested in trading. And I wanted a medium, I guess, freight ship that I could use.
Okay.
Yep.
Not a terrible choice. Not a terrible choice. The Corsair.
The Corsair, it really struck me as I guess, a daily driver that I could use. It had the vehicle bay with the ramp. It had a bunch of weapons that I could use. I'm pretty interested in doing bounty hunting, so I could have also used that.
Okay.
And then a bit of exploration and just flying around.
Okay. See your thought pattern there. I see that. The Perseus. Badger's favorite ship.
Yeah, the Perseus. I really liked how it had the big size 7 guns. I could fly around, destroy some big ships and all that, with my group of friends and all that, and yeah, use that for bounty hunting as well.
And it's an RSI ship, so what's not to like?
Oh yeah.
But yep.
The Merchantman.
The Merchantman. It would have been my big trading ship. I also really liked that it had, the little shops inside, so I could, buy stuff up and then sell it in store.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit of trading, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. And what were the professions you told me in Algrid that you were interested in the most?
Well, I really like to mine, trade, and do bounty hunting.
That's not actually what you told us, but you told us bounty hunting, mining, and jack of all trades is what you told us. But trading
initially, and then he kind of rephrased it into trading. But yeah.
Okay, cool.
But when he first told us that, we went, huh? Where's your mining ship?
Yeah.
And he did tell us he wanted to get an Orion. So
yeah, he did.
This is what our grid
and Endeavour.
Endeavour.
So he did, before we even came to the party, he said, I want an Orion and an Endeavour. But we're not selling him on the Endeavour. I've just got to stress that, because so many people say, Al, you dirty salesman, you're getting people into the church of the Endeavour, and this is not the case.
Before anyone asked, it was all our grid. It was all our grid. No.
Thanks, Execute. Throw me under the bus when I'm innocent for once.
Yeah, for once. No. That was, well, you save him. It's up to you, man. Do you want to save Agrid or just let him crash under the bus? So I'll let you. Yep. You want to speak there, Dquags?
Yeah, for the jack of all trades.
As in, you wanted the Endeavour and you wanted the Orion, and it had nothing to do with Algrid or myself.
Yeah, I was looking at both of those before. you guys did actually sell me on it for sure.
So, what we recommended, based on bounty hunting being the top thing that he actually picked, was instead of the Perseus, we went to the Polaris. And Alfred, I'll let you speak to that, man. So
Yeah, and part of the reason for this was also the fact that initially he'd said, I want to do jack of all trades, so get as many gameplay loops as possible. And I think the Polaris being such a bigger ship than the Perseus, and yes, it does need more crew, but when you look at the price point, I just can't countenance buying with cash a Perseus at 675 when you can get a Polaris for a little bit more. The Polaris has so much more options. It's got the quality of life features. It's got the med bay. It's got the hangar for an extra small hangar, which will basically be a fighter. It's got a size 5 turret, and it's got, I believe, and it's got the torpedoes, which makes it a really good ship for a group of friends. So I think it ups the Perseus. Now, having said that, it's not saying I don't think the Perseus is a great ship. I think it's a ship everyone's going to want, but at that price point, I just can't back it. And this gives so much more options in terms of gameplay. In terms of bounty hunting, he's got the option of putting a mantis in there. He's got the option of putting, if he manages to get hold of a raven, a saber raven, he could put that in there. And both of those have EMPs, which could stop bounties running away. He could put a Vanguard in there. He could put other bounty hunting ships in there, so he can increase the firepower or versatility of his ship just by using that hangar. It also has a vehicle bay, which gives him that ability to drive vehicles on and off. It does have cargo, so it kind of picks up those roles that the Corsair would have as well, without having that silly broadside.
I could see this kind of like coming in orbit and sitting in orbit, and the hunting ship actually coming out of it, and even multiple bounty hunting ships being cycled through it to repair and refuel and stuff like that. You can't do any of that with the Perseus.
Yeah.
And I think the big thing for me was that the Perseus is always going to need other ships around it to support it, and yeah, that's the big negative of the Perseus for me. But it is still a very good ship. So these last two kind of speak to the bounty hunting as well, and a bit of a daily driver and some jack of all trades. So the Redeemer, we know they've talked about the possibility of bounty hunting modules on this ship, and not only that, it's a ship that kind of really hits above its weight class, and again, you only need 3 people. So it's a step up from like a single seater, and those single seater kind of bounty hunting ships are going to be really quickly earned when he's got bigger ships. Alfred, is there anything you want to add?
Look, John and I took this one out, and it was a lot of fun. I know people say it's a sluggish and slow ship, but if you've got people in those size 5 turrets, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Unless you're going against something that's bigger gun than you, it doesn't matter because you're just chewing them up. And if you are against a bigger ship, chances are it's slower, so you can outrun it. It really is a nice ship. And based on what Dquags said initially when mining bounty hunting, the first two ships I thought of were Orion and Redeemer. And I asked him, "Are you looking at big crews or small crews?" And he said, "I think I'm probably looking at more smaller crews." And that really just says, "Oh, go for Redeemer," for me.
Yeah, my camera froze there, so apologies for that. That's the first time that's ever happened. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, all fixed.
Now you'll also notice there are 6 ships in this fleet, and one of the things that Dquag did tell us that he was also looking at buying 2 Spartans as LTI tokens. So he was still looking at wanting to have 6 hulls, and so what to go for to give him those gameplay loops that he was interested in, but as much as he could as well. So
and just leave that for this. Just get this last ship out of the way, and then we'll talk about that specifically. What we ended up recommending. So Alfred, I'll let you take the Caterpillar as well. What's your thoughts?
Caterpillar is a ship that I think is undersold or undersung in terms of what it can do.
Mm.
It does.
Oh, I think I lost our grid. Yep, I lost our grid. So I'm going to take over. Yeah, Caterpillar. Basically. Oh,
Yes, it looks like we lost our. I'm back.
You're back. All right, you go ahead. Go on. Take it over
All
again.
right. So it does have a lot of gameplay options. We know that it's supposedly got modularity. The only modularity we know for certain it's got is the bounty hunting module, because there's a bounty hunting mission with module, with the cells in those. We don't know. We haven't yet been offered to buy them, but we know at least it's in game. But this does cargo. It does have many offer options, and Dquags also said he liked flying it. He'd flown it in the past and liked it, so it's a good daily driver. In many ways.
Lots of versatility too for different types of gameplay, which is never a bad thing if you're not. He did mention jack of all trades, stuff like that, so it allows him to find the ones that he likes that he may not know about, and then earn another ship that will give him more of that gameplay. This is a kind of Swiss Army knife. Let him find that out.
We've done a ship scrutiny on the Caterpillar, haven't we? Where we looked at the different modules that they'd talked about. I would highly recommend people go and have a look at that ship scrutiny, and just see the modules that CIG have talked about in the past, and you'll see the amount of modularity and that you get with this ship, and the options for going into different gameplay loops.
So, what we actually recommended our grid was that he pick up a bunch of CCUs and over time fill the gaps. So, which is, I don't know, I'll let you talk on that, our grid. Go for it.
So the first thing we actually said is, look, you've said you like mining. You said that's your number one thing, and you want to get an Orion. So we said, look, get the Orion now, lock in the price, and buy it, because even though the Orion's not in game yet, it gives you the Mole and the Prospector as a loanership, so you can actually use them now and do mining and do the thing you actually said you enjoy.
Yep.
So that is really a no-brainer. He's already got the BMM, and the BMM has as a loaner the Defender and I always get it wrong. Is it the cat or the Starfarer? It's a cat, isn't it?
I believe it was the C2. It was the cat before that.
The C2.
Yeah.
So it's been upgraded. So
Yep.
again, it gives you a trading ship and a hauling ship that can do that, and he's got another fighter he can play around with. The Endeavour, because he knows he wants the Endeavour, I actually said, look, just get a CCU to it. Don't worry about whatever it is, the cheapest CCU from a ship that's always readily available. And that way, he knows he's got the Endeavour locked in at that $350 price. It gives him the option down the track of possibly finding cheaper war bond CCUs that he can CCU his ships up from. But it also gives him a lot of free credits to be able to try out other ships down the track and see what things he wants and go from there.
We even kind of recommended that a few times when we were looking at less ships, weren't we? So like there's now only a $5 difference between the Cat and the Redeemer, and then another 20 up to the Endeavour, so you can kind of go through if you wanted to and try them out and make sure they are for you. I do think the Redeemer will be one that he uses quite a lot with bounty hunting, with the talk of the modules for that, and I think that's more the 3-person one. And then if you kind of scale it up to the Caterpillar, for me that's kind of like almost like a jailer's ship, like a hauler of prisoners. I actually think that probably may be a thing down the road, like taking prisoners from one prison to another, because it kind of randomly gives people a chance to break them out.
And the other thing that right at the end of our discussion that Dquags was talking about, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Dquags, but you said you wouldn't mind getting into that salvage gameplay.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Or that repair gameplay. A couple of the modules that were suggested for the Caterpillar was A, a chop shop, which is basically salvage, and B, a repair yard or repair shop, which is repair. And that would actually cover that gameplay loop of salvage and repair. And so
give you a taste of it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, give you a taste of it, and then if you really did like it, I'd be looking at going down the other cult that we have, the Cult of the Crucible, and looking at possibly picking one of those up if you really liked it.
And a reclaimer as well.
Yeah, And if you go that route, go the Reclaimer, because they just work so well together.
And I think the two jack of all trade ships there for me are probably the Caterpillar and the Endeavour. They give him a really nice widespread of different things, and I think the only double up I can think of, I could be wrong here, is the medical. But other than that, it gives him a lot of diversity. He's got two good combat ships. He's got the best trading ship in the game and the best mining ship in the game. And I think with that, he, again, having that really big Orion, if there's something he's missing, he can go earn it pretty damn quickly. So he can go out and do, just a few missions and be able to afford something that'll fill that spot. I think the other ship I would look at now in the game is the Caterpillar or the Redeemer for you to be able to use in the game right now. I think that's the other two you should probably look at filling the gap with first after when you got some more money or whatever. Because especially right now, that Redeemer is damn really good at the moment.
Yep. And if you got two friends or even one friend, that Redeemer you could do bounty missions with that and make money.
Put it this way, I was making money and Agrid was in it, right? And if Agrid's in it and I'm making money, it has to be a really good ship. It carried Agrid.
It was worse than that. I had to put up with Execute. I was fortunate that I had John with me.
Oh, can you imagine those two old buggers driving me nuts? It was torture, but they were both riffing on me the whole time. But no, it was actually quite fun, and we had a good couple of hours just going around, and it's just really powerful.
Doing bounty missions, and we were making money. Just doing whatever bounty missions do.
Yeah, there was like one bounty mission we did was like 48,000, and that was split between. That wasn't split. That was each. That was just. Yeah, and it just melts everything. Hammerheads, you name it, they're dead. And that is NPCs. It may be a different fish down the road when Hammerhead gets armor and stuff like that, but they're just crazy good right now. Yeah. Crazy good. And as we said, if you don't like it, you can always jump up to the Caterpillar or the Endeavour or something that you prefer.
Yeah.
All right, then. With that, I think we'll kind of wrap it up there, Agrid. I'm going to let you sign off because I'm half asleep. So, yeah, go for it.
So if you like what we're doing, please hit that little like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment. We do actually read every comment. I'm sure Dquag would love to hear your thoughts on what we've said. Are we off a rocker? Am I due for the old people's home? Am I just a sleazy ship salesman trying to lead him down the garden path?
Yeah. And remember those.
Harry,
also, remember what he's looking for, though. Bounty hunting, mining, jack of all trades, and trading. They're the things that he's mentioned. So we have kind of trading. We've got the bounty merchantman. Again, he can earn down, so you don't need to hit multiples on every slot. You just the big one, and you can use that to get all the ones underneath very, very quickly. Bounty hunting is a tricky one, though. Because there is no
that is
real big bounty hunting ship, and so basically it's a skill of combat as far as I'm concerned. At least at the moment, it may change in the interest of time.
Yeah, and last but not least, if you do really like what we do and you do want to support us, there is always joining us on Discord for chat, but also joining us on Patreon as well.
Yeah, always help there for people. I was going to say, there's always help there for Fix My Fleet and stuff like that.
If you
like the video.
Come to us on our Discord, you can always grab us or other people from our Discord, and they will gladly help you.
Like the video, subscribe, Patreon, all that jazz.
Yep.
I'll let you do the arrow. You gotta do the arrow pointing.
Oh, sorry.
See, I knew I'd get you because I'm used to pointing backwards. You're not used to pointing backwards. See, you gotta point backwards.
Oh, sorry.
He's been executed. Yeah, and I've been Agrid. And we'll see you next time.
Out of here.
All right. You're getting better. It's like teaching an old dog new tricks. That's what it is.
You can't do it. It's impossible. You know the song. You can't do it.